This is Steve McNallen of the Asatru Folk Assembly, bringing you the latest on the revival of the ancestral faith of Northern Europe and the awakening of the European descended peoples everywhere. The gods and goddesses never went away. They are with us always, and now they stir, and we reclaim our spiritual birthright. A glorious dawn awaits. Hail our awakening, and hail Asatru rising. A question arose on an Asatru group recently. Does our religion need new myths? Are the old ones irrelevant to modern men and women? I think it's good to ask questions like this. We need to challenge our own ideas from time to time, and there's a lot of room for free inquiry in a faith such as Asatru. So, when the suggestion of new myths was posed to me, I gave it serious thought. Here's where I ended up. We can make up new stories, but we cannot make up new myths. Myths are not casual tales composed on the spot to make a moral point, or to entertain, or to amuse. They are not the products of rational thought, consciously imposed on a particular subject matter, in this case, the activities of the gods. They speak the deep language of the unconscious, and the more profound levels of our own being respond to them, often entirely bypassing conscious awareness as they do so. The mythic motifs found in the northern lore are often consistent all across the Indo-European world, and in some cases even beyond. They are created not by the conscious mind, but by the unconscious, one could even say by the gods, and then emerge to consciousness. To sit down and deliberately compose modern myths would completely reverse this process, moving from the conscious to the unconscious rather than the other way around. This doesn't mean the old stories can't be paraphrased. Accurate retellings retain the essence of the myth and also stimulate an interest in the original manuscripts. But modern, consciously devised sermons posing as myths do not have this power. There is more to genuine myths than meets the eye. Both the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda contain many layers. Take the Hafamaul, for example, or in English, the Words of the High One. On the surface, most of the poem is made up of nothing more than prudent advice for living. However, there are deeper aspects to even this apparently straightforward poem, elements that, as Jim Chisholm has shown, are meant as a guidebook for higher spiritual evolution. Similarly, the story of the theft of mead by Odin in the Prose Edda contains specific information on techniques for attaining godlike consciousness and power. To cast aside this hidden material, or to claim that a modern homily-motivated myth is just as good as the original, well, that would be a colossal mistake. Asatru's myths were written for several purposes beyond setting good examples for daily behavior. We've seen that Hafamaul is not only a practical guide for the conduct of one's life, but also an encoded handbook for higher evolution. What about that other pillar of the Poetic Edda, the Folospau, or the Prophecy of the Seeress? Scholars tell us that Folospau is a didactic poem, meaning that it is designed to teach the lore. But I think that Folospau is just what the title says. It is a prophecy, a vision of things to come, considered so important that it was specifically included in the Poetic Edda for our benefit. No pseudo-myth that we can make up can come anywhere close to this. In short, here's my position. We can't make up myths to replace the old ones or to put alongside them on an equal basis. Yes, the myths are ancient, meaning they were written a long time ago and recited orally long before that. But in a more important sense, the myths are timeless. They express, as someone once said, that which never happened, but is always true. This has been Steve McNallen of the Asatru Folk Assembly, www.runestone.org. Thank you for listening to this particular episode of Asatru Rising, and we hope you'll be with us next time.